I'm here to explain to you what CoBoss is. CoBoss is a collaborative professional development program, and it's really neat. So let me get into a little bit of the background behind why CoBoss is a thing. Traditional employment, first of all, working for someone else, 9 to 5, full time employment, doesn't work for everyone. Bosses, bureaucracy, long commutes, working in a cubicle. Not everybody gets a fair shake in a typical workspace, and traditional employment is just something that a lot of people just have a really bad relationship with. Fortunately, times are changing. Traditional 9 to 5, working for someone else in an office is not something that people have to do quite as much as they used to, and actually, there's a lot more opportunity because of things like the internet and all of the technologies that have made it so accessible these days. And so now you can become your own boss, which is really great if the traditional working model didn't really work for you. So that's great. Now you get to make your own money. Nobody is stopping you. However, there are trade offs to this. And most importantly, it's the responsibility that comes with working for yourself. This is what keeps a lot of people who would want to work for themselves from doing so. You have to deal with everything on your own. So, what happens when you have to deal with all these things? Now you're the boss. So instead of someone else being the boss, now you have to deal with the fact that you're the one ultimately in charge. And you might not actually super love that fact. And so obviously nobody's perfect at doing everything. So even if you are actually pretty comfortable with working for yourself, or even if you're not so comfortable, there's going to be stuff you're going to have to deal with. So how do we take advantage of these freedoms that we have from this new world of being able to work for ourselves, or at least to not have to work from a typical 9 to 5, while still getting some support? Enter CoBoss. CoBoss is the program that we're going to be talking about. And the way that it works is, first of all, everybody who's involved is a part of the process. So instead of it being something where you kind of just do your job and it all kind of contributes to the larger thing, everybody gets to be a part of it. And unlike being on your own, you have other people who are able to help you and you're able to help others. So this allows you to preserve individual autonomy while still having some structure and some accountability to make this a little bit more than just you sitting at home trying to figure it out. And it's part of a larger trend. So the kind of typical thing of working for someone else is a dependent structure, and we're moving away from that. We're moving towards independence, where people are working for themselves, but we know that that's not quite perfect, and so now we're moving to an interdependent model where we're all supporting each other. Here's how it works. First of all, you take an initial assessment. This gives us a sense of kind of where you're at in terms of your work and your path. There are we're trying to simplify this to kind of 3 different basic models that maybe you don't perfectly fit into, but you would try to find the one that fits best for you, whether you work for yourself or whether you are perhaps running or part of a small business, perhaps with multiple employees or contractors, or whether you are trying to build a startup, something with scale, something that you might be looking to make much bigger. So there's kind of these different types. And then there are different stages. Are you in a place where you're thinking about what you're going to do versus actually doing it? Are you developing the business, but maybe you haven't launched it yet? Or you're kind of leading up to a big move in terms of dedicating yourself to this business that you're building? Or perhaps you've already grown, you've already launched the business and now you're trying to grow it. And so these basic phases kind of give us a sense of where you're at, combining with this kind of status. Between these two things, we get a good sense of where you're at. And the way that all this manifests is in a seasonal program that we're going to implement in these partner spaces that we're working with. And the way that this works is this is 12 months in a year. And what we're doing is we're taking one portion of that year, a 3-month period, and we're making it special. When you work for yourself, this can be an issue. Basically you get this like big gray landscape of just stuff. And without a traditional company to give you some structure around this, you have to figure out how to make these days special. And if you're not working within a particular framework or program, this can be difficult to do. So what we're doing is we're creating a little bit of sense of meaning and of finite structure so that you have a little bit more of something. You can just focus on this period of time, focus on the progress you need to make, and then Then we'll worry about the rest of the year after that. So we start with a kickoff event. That's what this first box is. Kickoff event gives you an opportunity to set some goals for this upcoming quarter, to form teams with other people who are working on similar things, and generally to schedule different kinds of gatherings that you might want to have in order to support those goals that you're setting. And then once we've kind of got that figured out, the destination. The destination is the event that happens at the end of this quarter. That's your demo day. And that's the day when you can show off what you did and share what you learned. Maybe you totally failed at what you set out to do. Okay, let's learn from it. And then let's use that information to inform what is going to become our next set of goals. And so as we're kind of looking ahead, then we get to think about, what did we learn from this experience, and then where do we go from here? So that kind of takes us through this quarter, and then what we can do is we can start to design experiences in different kinds of gatherings that happen in the interim period between these major kind of bookends. And so these are different kinds of activities that you can undertake. These are ones that you can organize, or these are ones that other people in your community can organize that you can participate in. And so these could be stand-ups, these could be work sprints, they could be workshops, they could be anything that will help you to stay focused, help you to get back on track, and give you ways to connect with your fellow community members so that you can all work together to help each other succeed. So you get to decide whether these things happen, whether you lead one or whether someone else leads one. It's really up to you how much you want to participate in these things, but we're going to make these different kinds of formats available to you. And so all of this happens, and then, of course, this can lead you to the rest of the year. We could do these on a seasonal basis. So that way your year isn't just one big old gray blob, but now you've got 4 distinct seasons in which to really focus on making growth. So each one of these is a chance to make progress in doing something new. So each season you get a chance to set new goals, make progress, you make friends, and you have fun doing it. We're making the whole thing about working for yourself less scary by making it social, by creating an opportunity for all of us to support each other. And so it's a very simple construct. And in order to get involved, it's pretty straightforward. First of all, you register. So through the partner community that you learned about this through, there will be a way to register. You can contact your organizer to find out more information. There'll be an interest meeting, presumably where you'll be able to learn a little bit more about this program and ask some questions, meet some of the other people who are interested. And then as a registered member of the community, you can join for the kickoff event. The kickoff event is really where all the magic happens. So by that point, you know a little bit about where you're at, what your goals are, or what you think your goals might be. You're going to be in a room with other people who are doing the same thing. Now you get to identify the people in that room who maybe have similar needs as you, or maybe who are able to offer some help in a way that you need help. And so that also might be a way for you to offer help to other people if you've got particular expertise or just a passion and an interest for helping people in a certain way. This is a way for that exchange to happen so all of you can support each other. So between all of these things, we should be able to get you to not feel like you're on your own, having to work for yourself, and be able to find some folks who are going to be able to help you be more successful, be more happy, and most importantly, not feel like you're on your own in this crazy journey. So that's the presentation. I'm Tony. I'm putting together this CoBoss program with an amazing group of people all over the world who are helping to make this happen. If you want to learn more about that, contact me at tony@nwc.co. Thanks a bunch.